Was a girl running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod and large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod.
We were talking about cars on fire, and guess what? Ford is delaying the launch of its plug-in hybrid Escape compact crossover for 2021 after thousands of similar vehicles in Europe were recalled for problems involving fires while recharging. We have a recharging problem in Europe. The Escape plug-in hybrid originally was scheduled to go into production this past spring, but Ford changed it to summer after the coronavirus pandemic shut factories for 2 months. It did. Now Ford is pushing it to 2021 as it reviews issues with the European market Kuga model, which is the model of the Escape, which shares parts with the Escape plug-in, including the battery and engine. Well, that's the two most important parts, don't you think? The delay in the plug-in's Escape debut comes amid a soft U.S. demand for the small crossover. U.S. sales plunged almost 23% in the third quarter and are down 32% for this year. Well, of course, you can't go anywhere. Now, it'll happen. It'll come back. You know, Japan is looking into some of these guys, and they're having a real problem. And the Japan regulators say that safety products supplier Joyson falsified data. Well, let's see what they say here. The Japanese unit of automotive safety products supplier Joyson Safety Systems has falsified the performance data for its seatbelts and shipped substandard products. This is the Nikkei Business Daily reported on Tuesday. Hello. Joyson Safety Systems Japan, which took over the main business of bankrupt airbag maker Takata, could not be reached for comment outside their business hours. The Japanese Transport Ministry has asked the company to submit an investigation report and has also told automakers to prepare for recalls of the seatbelts in questions. You know, I read some seatbelt recalls earlier in the show, Eric. I think that's what this is all about. I think that's where it's coming from.
Yeah, I believe so too.
The people that bought Takata airbags, their airbags are fine, but now your seatbelts don't work. Come on. Jeez, OP, we can't win.
I was about to say, you can't win.
Thousands of dollars extra for safety on your vehicles, and guess what? Speaking of recalls, California air regulators on Wednesday, and they got a board, it's the CARB, California Air Resources Board, Wednesday urged automakers and engine manufacturers to disclose by the end of the year any unapproved hardware or software programs that compromise a vehicle's emissions control system. Hello? Yeah, well, you know where this started from, Stinkygate. The letter from the California Air Resources Board, or CARB, follows a string of penalties against automakers for using software to evade emission requirements since 2015, including Volkswagen Group, Daimler AG, and Fiat Chrysler Automotive. California noted it has other pending emissions investigations and said voluntary disclosure will trigger a reduction in penalties. Failure to do so may affect the result of future enforcement actions. So far, Daimler, Chrysler, Volkswagen, they have paid billions, at least millions, but almost billions to this Stinkygate thing. They all cheated. I think they all cheated. I think what they're trying to tell you is, come forward, we'll let you slide, but guess what? Y'all cheated. And I'm sure that's what they're doing. Matter of fact, I'm positive. Nissan Motor Company's U.S. lending arm agreed Tuesday to pay a $4 million fine to settle a government agency's allegation that it improperly repossessed hundreds of consumers' vehicles. Oh no, another lending company that's taking advantage of people? I'll be. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau said that between 2013 and 2019, Nissan Motor Acceptance Corp., that's the lending arm, It's a subsidiary of the automaker's North American unit, wrongfully repossessed hundreds of consumers' vehicles despite the consumer having made payments or taken other actions. Nissan must pay up to $1 million to consumers subject to the wrongful repossession. They did it again. They just did it again. These people are something else, man. I'll tell you what, Eric. There's so much bad news in this car world today. I wouldn't know how to act if I didn't have bad news. But there's a lot of other things coming up, a lot of better things, good stuff. It's nice. You know what? We always take a few minutes every show, and it's time to talk about our great sponsors: Blue Top Magazine, Blue Top Drive-In, Region Rides Magazine, Unlimited Service Automotive, Bumper to Bumper Auto Value, our big guy, our big sponsor. They all do a real good job for us, and they do a real good job for you, the people. Bumper to Bumper isn't just a parts store. It's a store I use in my business for the last 15 to 20 years, simply because they have the best. They have good people, and they have the best training. They're good people. Well, Auto Value, good place. Region Rides Magazine, it's the holy grail in the Midwest. If you want to know what's going on for car shows and what's going on in the car world, Region Rides Magazine is what you want. And, of course, Blue Top Drive-In. I got to tell you, about 2 inches of this belly belongs to John Golfus at Blue Top Drive-In.
That's funny.
Oh, I'm telling you. His Big Ben burger is the sole reason for my extra large shirt.
I think I'm going to go probably get a burger from there, too, after the show, before I get my hair cut.
You know what he's got? I was told yesterday. He's got a grilled cheeseburger. Does that sound cheesy or what? I can't wait. I got to try it now.
That sounds...
And I'd smother it with all the goodies and just run it through the garden. And the next thing you know, boy, I got me a sandwich.
I don't know how to feel about that one.
You'll see.
It sounds delicious, but then at the same time...
Well, I tell you what, we're going to find out today because I'm having one.
Let me know how that goes.
I will. I'm going there. You know, it's just good. And, of course, Unlimited Service Automotive, that's my company, has been a sponsor ever since the beginning. 15, 17 years we've been on the air now. It's hard to count it. Time flies when you're having fun.
That's true. It
started somewhere around 2007, I think. So that's 13 years at least. So, and the last 3 or 4 have been on WIMS, WHFB, and these guys are great. Gerard Media is the way to fly. They're really moving up. They're expanding across the region. They're all over Southwest Michigan and Northwest Indiana, or Southeast Michigan, Northwest Indiana. They're just everywhere. Picked up the station number in Valpo. I'm sure I'm talking to Mark Hallier. Of course, he's the producer of Region Rides Magazine, the editor, whatever you want to call it. He's the poobah. He also delivers the papers and wraps them and ties them up. So he does everything. But he puts it all together. He is the originator of it. He's good. He's really good at what he does. And of course, if you go see John Golfus at Blue Top, you tell him I sent you because he'll probably give you 1 free onion ring for that.
1 free onion ring?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of onion rings.
Oh, he's got the best onion rings. Oh, and he won't tell me how they're made. Yeah, he's a
keep that one.
That's
like
a secret.
I said, me and onion rings don't go good.
Well, that's good. That's more for me. If I order onion rings, I don't have to share them with you.
I'll give you that one.
Okay. All right, back to business here. There's so much stuff, good stuff going on. We may as well talk about what's going on in the electric car world. You need to hear all this because, guys, this car business is changed, and electricity is here, and it's here to stay. It's not going away. Trust me, it's not going away anytime soon. Mercedes-Benz is going to introduce its new EQ sub-brand in the U.S. with an electric variant of the S-Class sedan. That S-Class has been big for Mercedes. Daimler CEO Ola Kalinois told Automotive News this last week. Initially, the automaker had planned to launch with the EQC compact crossover, but that's not going to happen. It's going to be this other one. It's a noteworthy strategy for the truck-obsessed U.S. market. Light trucks account for 75.5% of total vehicle sales in the U.S., and they do. They're really big. The EQS sedan is Mercedes' full electric rival to the Tesla S. I told you, Tesla sets the standard. These guys are all out gunslinging for them. And is slated to arrive in the U.S. next summer. It will travel more than 700 kilometers, which is 430 miles on a single charge, based on the WLTP testing cycle, whatever that is. They use a lot of acronyms in the car business, and I sometimes look them up, and sometimes I don't bother to look them up because I'm so tired of looking at acronyms. Once you hear something cool about electric cars, new technology, there's a startup company out there, a startup automotive safety supplier. Well, that's what we need is another safety supplier. Says it has a technology that can help make disabled vehicles more visible. It's kind of cool. NFL lineman Chris Smith is helping promote this technology. I'll tell you why. After former Cleveland Browns defensive end Chris Smith's girlfriend, Petara Cordero, died in a disabled vehicle accident in Ohio last year, he agreed to promote a new technology that could help prevent similar tragedies. Startup company, he's got a little skin in the game. He really, that was his girlfriend. Startup company Emergency Safety Solutions, known as ESS, more acronyms, reached out to him about an emerging product being developed for automakers that is under review by safety regulators. In other words, it's going to make your car know that there's a car broke down in front of it, don't hit it if it's in the middle of the roadway, okay? Then Chris Smith is backing it because apparently that killed his girlfriend. Going to have all kinds of battery makers going on. Man, oh man. A joint battery venture of Toyota and Panasonic. Is everybody sleeping with everybody or what, Eric? Let me tell you. They will produce lithium-ion batteries for hybrid cars at a plant in western Japan starting in 2022 to meet the growing demand for electrified vehicles. The production line at Panasonic factory in Tokushima Prefecture will have enough capacity to build batteries for around 500,000 vehicles a year. The joint venture, Prime Planned Energy and Solutions, said. Toyota last month said it expects annual sales of electrified vehicles to reach 5.5 million in 2025, 5 years earlier than they initially planned. 5 million by 2025. Tell me the electricity isn't taking over the car world, buddy. You know what else is here? Autonomous driving. It's autonomous driving. I always want to make it start with an O. I don't know why, Eric. General Motors Cruise Unit will be allowed to test autonomous vehicles, God, on public roads in San Francisco without a safety driver, joining Amazon.com, Inc.-backed Zoox, and a handful of other self-driving startups. There's so many of them. Cruise is permitted to operate 5 vehicles without a driver behind the wheel, a step up from approval it received 5 years ago that required the presence of a person to take control if needed. Okay, while some 60 companies, Eric, have permission to conduct autonomous testing with a safety driver in California, Cruise becomes only the 5th allowed to test a truly driverless mode. Woo. Others in that small group include Alphabet, Waymo, LL Neuro, AutoX Technologies, and Zoox, Z-O-O-X. I'm telling you, it's here. They're going to be 2 generations from now. There'll be no more driver's license. It won't be there. 2 generations, you will not have another driver license. Since December 2018, Waymo has provided fully driverless rides to a small group of hand-picked users in Metro Phoenix. Starting Thursday, the company will offer those rides to a greater swath of riders. They're going to expand. All the rides in Waymo's test bed will be fully driverless. That is, with no human driver aboard, for at least several weeks, the company said. What does that mean? We're going to do this for several, and then we're going to make it safe again? What do you suppose that means, Eric?
It means they have a plan.
Yeah, they have a plan, all right. These rides will be open to anyone who is a member of the company's Waymo One ride-hailing program, which has over 1,500 members, by the way. And it's open to the general public. You just got to sign up. Previously, fully driverless rides were available only to members of the company's early rider program, a smaller group of users who signed non-disclosure agreements and provided unvarnished feedback to help shape future operations. We are learning from them, Waymo CEO John Krafik said. You know, they're learning all right, and they're throwing these self-driving things out there, and we'll see. If it doesn't crash, then we'll go from there. Come on. If it doesn't crash. So you know, I'm just FYI, my favorite car, the Corvette, the mid-engine Chevrolet Corvette has hit yet another production snag, a parts shortage that will halt assembly at the Bowling Green, Kentucky plant this week. Before the pandemic hit, Chevy had expected to build 40,000 Corvettes in 2020, and as of February, Chevy had received 45,000 pre-orders through his website. So everybody else wants that car too. But guess what? Now they have no parts to build them. Sad to say. And the General Motors Hamtramck, Michigan plant, Hamtramck is where a lot of the car manufacturers started. Detroit, Ford, GM, and General Motors were all at Hamtramck at one time. Well, they are now have renamed the Hamtramck plant Factory Zero, making a commitment to an all-electric, zero-emissions lineup. Everything that comes out of there will be all-electric and zero emissions. I'm telling you, it's here. Don't even think it's not, because it's here. It's just here, and it's going to be forever. The Union and FCA Chrysler up in Canada, Unifor, they are battling tooth and nail. I heard they came up with a partial agreement or some kind of temporary agreement this last week. We'll see.